But right now, we're actually going to switch gears a little bit and talk about a thing that is extremely liberating, and it's compliance, obviously. I think the times when fintech industry and tech industry in general probably were moving fast and breaking things are over, right? And now we're going to talk a little bit about real-time, insight-based compliance and consumer protection. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Ramūnas Baravykas, advisor to Executive Director at the Bank of Lithuania. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ramūnas to the stage.
Hello. Before I start my speech, I would like to say thank you for organizers for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts about digitalization of financial industry and share some experiences how authorities are reflecting to those shifts in the industry. My name is Ramūnas Baravykas. I'm currently advisor to Executive Director at the Supervision Service of the Bank of Lithuania. And I work in the financial supervision area for 16 years currently. I would like to start my speech by listing the main areas of supervision of focus. Supervisory authorities assesses the viability and sustainability of financial institution business models. It is crucial to admit that different business models coexist in the financial industry and to recognize that different financial services providers create choice and value for the financial service consumers. Therefore, an appropriate approach must be taken by supervisors as well, and one size fits all is not the right choice. The issues of origin, adequacy, and sustainability of capital are always in the spotlight. There's constant review and new agreements on what and how should be measured by the risk rule, what new risks must be absorbed by the capital, what capital buffer should be formed are inevitable. The people who make and implement decisions in the financial institution are the most important link. Therefore, particularly strict, fit and proper requirements apply to the key persons. Nevertheless, sometimes even very experienced and qualified people fail to perform their duties in the company does not have the necessary policies and procedures in place. On the other hand, policies not always help if they aren't used in the risk management and value chain process. Thus, on-site inspections and process monitoring are good practice of supervision. Due to the likelihood of human error, it is usually repetitive actions to replace with the technologies or more effective systems. But with time, more advanced technologies were introduced in the organizations to meet growing challenges. Harnessing technology helps to deal with risk management, governance, fraud monitoring, regulatory compliance, streamlining reporting procedures, etc. Therefore, the technologies used by the financial industry should receive appropriate supervisory attention in digitalization impacts all other elements like processes, policies, competences required by the key persons. And what about when technology itself becomes a business model? More advanced technologies being started to used widely, known as RECTech. As for supervisors, it means that you need to understand the technology working in the financial institution. Does it give you an outcome you expect? Third, supervisors should prepare themselves. As a supervisor of financial service, you should learn more and faster to adapt the changing environment, participate in the change, and put hands on the new things, engage with fintech, regtech, give them an opportunity to try and innovate. We want that both fintech startups and regulator better understood each other while building new services and creating value for the consumers, adapting regulation and regulatory tools. The Bank of Lithuania takes active measures to ensure that the road towards innovation and higher market competition remains open. In light of the rapid digitalization of the financial sector, the Bank of Lithuania continued implementing innovations in its day-to-day activities, adapting supervisory practices to the changing market needs. The newcomer program is one-stop shop for the information on authorization and regulatory procedures, as well as consultation with the potential market participants in on the business opportunities in Lithuania. The Bank of Lithuania launched its regulatory sandbox. All innovations tested in the sandbox can quickly become available beyond the controlled environment, thus increasing competition and offering consumers a higher quality, better pricing, or altogether new financial services. In 2019, the Bank of Lithuania created a prototype of the unique blockchain-based sandbox, LB Chain, to help startups turn their ideas into reality in a faster and more cost-efficient way. The Bank of Lithuania's RegTech Subtech direction is to set streamlined reporting procedures in order to ensure that higher regulatory standards and reporting requirements do not hinder the sustainable development of the financial system. With a goal to maintain regulatory hygiene, the Bank of Lithuania has been gradually abandoning excessive and outdated resolutions. In collaboration with market participants, the Bank of Lithuania identified legislative acts to be amended and is dedicated to implementing the necessary changes. But it's not always enough. Because post-crisis, accountability and regulatory requirements increased in a rapid pace. We believe that helping financial market participants to meet compliance challenges, the financial industry will be rewarded with a new and more consumer needs satisfying services. As a central bank, as a regulator, and as a supervisor, we want to move in mostly those directions. First of all, to be efficient and effective, and to become a market leader by employing RegTech solutions in our own operations. And of course, we would like to foster the development of RegTech solutions in Lithuania. RegTech Subtech instruments introduced in Lithuania are set as a good practice example by the World Bank. Automated virtual platforms for handling complaints from market participants and carrying out dispute settlement activities. E-licensing tool, which enables potential market participants to submit documents for the particular license, has been intensively used by the major law firms. This tool helped to increase quality of documents submitted, but also improved the efficiency of our own procedures. Now we move forward. The licensing tool being enhanced to be more authorization cases, not only for licenses. The dispute resolution tool is supported with robotic process automation. Some documents in the process are prepared by the robots, thus freeing up some time for deeper case analysis for the experts. Data strategy aims at more efficient way to manage data and collect data at a lower cost for market participants. We understand that it is crucial at this stage to cooperate with the industry to understand the pain points of the market and facilitate the transformation of those pain points into gains for the whole industry. Discussions with the financial market participants, particularly fintech companies, on ways to abandon outdated reporting solutions are already bearing fruit. In 2019, the GovTech Lab Challenge drew the attention of private IT companies, which provided numerous ideas on new reporting solutions to reduce the administrative burden and enhance cost efficiency. The two selected companies joined forces to create a smart solution prototype using API software. As a result, all financial reports could be generated automatically, thus avoiding conflicting interpretations of legislation, delays, and inaccuracies. The application scope and implementation timeline of this solution will be assessed in the course of 2020. We are about to launch a public consultation on this reporting solution. This consultation is the next natural step in the implementation of the RegTech initiative. We have already tested this revolutionary solution that can be applied in the wide range of areas. However, the opinion of our partners, financial market participants, it is very important. Thus, we want to know what opportunities they see, what we need to assess, and where to start so that they could adapt smoothly to change. Effective RegTech deals with risk quickly and in compliance with national and international regulations. RegTech to date has been focused on digitalization on manual reporting and compliance processes. This offers significantly cost saving on the financial services industry and regulators. However, the potential of RegTech is far larger than it has the potential to enable a close to real-time and proportionate regulatory regime that identifies and addresses the risks while also facilitating more efficient regulatory compliance. RegTech can make big shift, and the European institutions are taking necessary steps to pave the way. Many surveys and papers have been published which identify regulatory obstacles to financial innovation. To mention the latter consultation on digital finance strategy that grabs all the potential of digital age across the economy, including the financial sector. How this will change the supervisory regime and supervision itself? Let's start from rule-based supervision, where legal acts lay down rules for the financial industry, which have to be observed when financial institutions are being established and are carrying on their business. These rules are designed to prevent unwelcome developments that might disrupt the smooth functioning of financial system. But with time, financial services industry became more complex, and in complex world, there was not enough to have described everything in rules. Furthermore, rule-based supervision regime was widely criticized for failing to anticipate the crisis and minimize its consequences. In the period since 2008, attention has shifted somewhat from prudential to conduct issues, and more attention was paid not only for rules, but also for the principles. But with this rising pile of data, we approaching to the new supervisory regime. I would call it insight-based supervision. Harnessing technology to connect all the dots from the pile of documents, gain insights, and share the insights with the market to safeguard the protection of consumers and soundness of financial industry. The challenge of regulating challenging financial system requires greater use and trust in RegTech. RegTech development are leading towards a paradigm shift. To enable SupTech and RegTech, the regulatory bodies and national competent authorities in a data-driven economy, more attention should pay to standardization. We believe that technological solutions appear where there are data and standardized protocols. Data has to be structured in such a way that the technology could use it and create added value to the basis on the data. The current reporting mechanism, when aggregated data is submitted, is not appropriate in the context of continuously changing reporting requirements. The reporting of microdata should have a breakthrough in the near future because continuous and gradual improvements of current reporting regime entails significant costs for both, for market and supervisory authorities. Therefore, has to be a way to find out how to make the changes in the data needs without the cost of adaptation, or at least to reduce those costs significantly. Some good examples of country-specific initiatives to reduce reporting burden of financial institutions could be observed between different jurisdictions. And in a minute, one of these examples will be presented. But national competent authorities should move toward unified standards in order to avoid changes happening in each country individually in non-harmonized way. European Union institutions should take the lead, guide in a coordinated way. European Commission should encourage the change of the reporting regime to microdata for close real-time supervisory monitoring. A platform could be created where successful examples of technology applications, RegTechs, could be listed. We believe that the mandates of European institutions must be extended to supervise not only financial institutions, but also providers of regulatory compliance solutions, RegTechs. This would create a culture of trust and facilitate to scale up solutions across the single market of European Union. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity to share insights on the financial industry digitalization. Thank you.